The ones still asleep are consumed by the game, so they're still playing it. The ones awake realize it's a game, so they're trying to beat it altogether, so the game can be put down and move on to something else entirely. The game is the human, earthly reality, and beating it is to transcend being human by returning to being divine. It's the difference of being inside the game and being out of it. That's the translation of the phrase, "Be in this world, but not of this world." When you return to your divine state, you'll remember you're not of this world, so you'll naturally align with your true nature and operate from the higher state of consciousness. Return to the present moment. Mental machinations distorts the present moment experience. Ruminating on the past or contemplating on the future takes away the here and now, the only moment you're ever experiencing. We had so much joy as a kid, not because we were a kid, but because we were simply in the moment. It's only when we get older that the thinking mind gets overstimulated due to more responsibilities that we completely forget to live in the here and now. Instead of asking, "What can I do?" ask, "How can I be?" Constantly thinking about productivity is a slave mindset. So to reset is to get back and focus on your state of being. When you're operating at your optimal state, challenges are less challenging. Trauma is unconscious reactions. When consciousness is regained, you can then choose to not let those events define who you are. So in the early stages of life, the immersion is deep, as consciousness hasn't yet developed to a point of self-awareness. When consciousness develops, a choice can be made to break free from the earlier stages of conditioning. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. One can be aware of pain, but doesn't have to identify with it. It's the identification of it that creates the perception of suffering. What you are at the core is a creator, but if not realized or harnessed, then you may be creating an experience for yourself that you don't prefer. To create experiences that serves you is to consciously create. To do this is to be present, as this is your actual experience in real time. Identifying with a past is creating context, so your future is already determined if you're holding on to the past. To create a brand new experience and to eventually transform is to reset from any past context and start right here, right now. What you choose in the present will change the course of your path from this point on, instead of having the starting point from the past. If you practice loving yourself now, this is your current version of you. If you keep dragging the past into the present, then the old version of you will come along for the ride. Transformation is letting go of the old version of you, so the new version can be born. Be here now. This is your new starting point. Reclaim your sovereignty by choosing to self-empower. Exercise your power to create a reality for yourself that serves your highest self. Constant disharmony is being in constant dis-ease, which eventually manifests into disease. To recalibrate is to get back into harmony with your true nature. Self-healing is just a natural function of being in alignment, and disease is an alert that you got out of alignment. Are you identifying with your false self, ego, or being your true self, higher self? The ego forms by not knowing anything, so it starts to identify and attach to everything it picks up through the physical senses, which includes materialism and belief systems. The true self is pure awareness, the observer behind all experiences. To be in alignment with the true self is to be present, free of judgments and labels, and treating the here and now perpetually. It's kind of a paradox because we're not really seeking love, but rather seeking to unclog all the blockages that's preventing us from realizing our true nature. When all blockages are removed, all that's left is what we actually are, free, liberated, and loved unconditionally. Any limitations are self-imposed, so seek all the limitations that you're placing on yourself that you might not be aware of, so you can unblock them. Limitations are usually in the form of fear. Whatever you're afraid of is causing the energy to not flow freely, which leads to resistance, and this is just a mechanism to highlight areas of growth. So don't run away or resist your fears, but seek to understand why you're afraid to begin with. When all fears subside, your true nature will come back online. What you are is the creator. So being immersed in the mind is being consumed by your own creations. If the mind isn't harnessed by the creator, then it might create unwanted things without even realizing it. Being present is aligning with your creative power, as you would never consciously create anything that doesn't serve your highest self. If you were aware you're filling your mind with disharmonious thoughts, would you still choose to continue and let it manifest? What you are is the one that can hit the cancel button to stop the manifestation from occurring if you recognize something is being created that wasn't in alignment with your true nature. You retain your ability to choose how to respond when you're conscious and present, and this ability is lost when on autopilot, which leads to being in a reactive state. Practice mindfulness throughout the day so you remember that you don't have to react to anything and can always choose to keep your peace. Reacting is letting the external world manipulate your state of being. To stay in a self-empowered state is to maintain self-awareness so reactions are deactivated. Focus on your heart area rather than the head. Feel the moment rather than think. You're a heart with a mind, not a mind with a heart. The mind is a tool and comes secondary after what you are. Quiet the mind to be more in tune with the subtle energies of the present moment. Imagine you're sailing a beautiful boat on a calm sea. You're the captain, in charge of steering the boat wherever you want to go. But sometimes stormy weather rolls in. The wind picks up, waves crash against the boat, and it can be tempting to panic and grab the wheel tightly, letting the storm control your direction. That's what happens when you react to negativity. You let the other person's bad mood be the storm that throws you off course. But here's the secret. You're still the captain. Even in a storm, you have the power to stay calm and steer the boat. The key is mindfulness. It's like taking a deep breath, stepping back from the storm, and remembering you're in control. You can choose not to react to the negativity, just like you wouldn't let the storm dictate where you sail. Think of your heart as the anchor that keeps you steady. When negativity comes your way, focus on feeling calm and grounded in the present moment. It's like feeling the boat beneath your feet, even as the waves rock it. Your mind is like a helpful crew member, but it shouldn't be the captain. Don't get caught up in overthinking the situation. Feel your breath, feel your heartbeat, and stay present. The more you practice staying calm in the face of negativity, the smoother your sailing will become. You'll learn to navigate any storm with peace and grace, just like a seasoned captain guiding their boat through any weather. So next time negativity hits, remember, you're the captain, and you have the power to choose peace. Every single thing you would say or think is all residing in your own mind. Master the mind, otherwise it will master you. To harness the mind is to be aware of what it's filled with, a mental diet. Just as you exercise discernment with what you put into your physical body, exercise the same discernment with what you put into your mental body. At the higher levels of consciousness, what the mind is filled with will have no effects, as you've become detached from the mind entirely and are operating at the spirit level. Until you reach the higher levels, pay attention to what you're putting into your mind so as to not drain your own energy. That's why it's called paying attention. As attention is essentially currency, there's an energy exchange for your attention. What you give attention to is the energy that you will get in return.